Hey everyone, welcome to English 201. I'm really excited to meet all of you and get to know you this semester. This video is intended to give you an overview of our OAK site and how we'll be using this site to complete the assignments of our asynchronous course this semester. So I'm starting right here on the home page of our course site, English 201. And on this homepage, there are two things that you'll be interacting with regularly. The first is simply this announcements feature, which I'll be using every week to make announcements about what's coming up that week, how we're going to be proceeding. Here you can read this when you have a moment. And then on the right is a list of upcoming due dates and assignments that you'll be having during the week and beyond. So that can help to remind you of what's coming up. You can get more details if you want to click down this arrow. You'll see our course set up by a monthly calendar, and the days with blue dots are the days when you have assignments due. You can also click on this calendar feature itself and go into even more depth about due dates that are coming up. I'll come back to that a little bit more in just a little bit, but here we are on the course homepage. And after the homepage, the second page that I'm sure you'll be spending quite a lot of time on is the content page. So I'll click on content, and I'm going to click overview. That's where we're starting. This will give you yet another overview of the course with some links that you will find useful. It also gives you some contact information for me, my email address, a link to set up an appointment with me where we can meet via Zoom, and a phone number where you can text me or call me. And those are ways that we can keep in touch this semester. So I wanted you to have all of that information here. We'll probably be meeting on Zoom, so I've got my Zoom information there as well. Okay, so that's the overview. To the left, you'll see a table of contents. Right now, the only thing you can see is week one, although of course we're going to be proceeding week by week using weekly modules, and there will be a lot more weeks to appear as you progress through the course. But since we're starting in week one, that's all that's available to you right now. So every week you'll be able to look into the folder for that week, and it will explain what activities you need to complete and the due dates for those. And the thing that I think will help you make sense of these folders, especially, is the checklist. Every week we'll have a checklist at the top of the list of materials. And the checklist will explain to you every single thing you need to do that week in order to complete the module. So I would really recommend making this your home base every week. It will have the most clearly laid out list of steps that you need to complete, including due dates, including the order in which you must complete them. So I want to start there. For week one, you're really just focusing on getting to know how this course works, the mechanics of the course, introducing yourselves to your classmates. So that's what the tasks focus on. So this first category of task is, watch these videos and take a quick quiz. So you can see the videos that you need to watch. Right now, as I'm making the video, some of the links are still not posted, but by the time you're accessing your OAK site, all of that will be there. So you'll have no trouble getting to the things that you need to get to. So you'll watch these videos. You'll take a quick course basics quiz. It's kind of like a syllabus quiz to make sure that you know all of the details of the course. And you can take that quiz as many times as you need to get full points. So there's no pressure there. And then the second category for this week is an introduce yourself category, in which you'll be writing on the discussion board and introducing yourself to everyone there, and then responding to some posts by your peers. So this is, again, home base for every weekly module, and as you complete items, you can check them off. And you'll notice that at the top of the screen, it tracks how far you've gotten checking off those things. So it all helps you kind of keep track of what you need to do each week in the course. So I'm going to go back to this week one folder. Although you can use all the links I posted here. For example, if you want to jump right into introducing yourself, you can click this link and it will take you right there. A lot of this information is also available in that folder where we started, under week 1. You've got the checklist here, and then a list of all those materials that also show up in the checklist. So they're kind of listed doubly, so you can access them in both locations. We've got an introductory video by me, course policies, some discussion post guidelines, this quiz, and then week 1's discussion board. This is another way you can get to that discussion board. I'm going to click on this here, and that will take us to this discussion board, as well as showing us the particular instructions for this post. Every discussion board you complete will have some of those instructions that you can read before writing. And then once you're ready to post, you just click Start a New Thread here, and you get to writing. So there's all the information you need there. Now I'm also going to jump over to the specific site called Discussion Board under Communication. And I want to point out 3 different collections of discussion boards or forums. The first is one called General Course Questions. Here you can just post any question you have about how the course is working, technical questions, when things are due, any question that you think that other students would benefit from hearing the answer to. So that's there for just general course questions. I'll be checking that very regularly and getting you answers as soon as I can. The next forum is simple reading comprehension questions and unfiltered reactions. So as we read literary texts every week, you might be wondering what a certain moment means in the text or what even happened plot-wise. This is a discussion board where you can post your questions about what just happened in the text, or post any other reaction that you had to a text that you just feel like you need to get out in words and you want to share with your classmates. So this is a very kind of unstructured discussion board where you can write any kind of question that you have. I'll weigh in, you can weigh into other people's posts. Anyone can respond to anyone in that discussion board. And then finally, here's the kind of primary forum where the graded discussion posts will be this semester. As you can see right now, there's just one here. It's the week 1 introducing ourselves to each other discussion board, which we saw a little bit earlier, with the specific instructions and the due dates for your original post down here, and then responding to 2 others, which are due 2 days later. I use those separate due dates as a way to allow more people to post so that you can respond to them. If we had one due date, people would wait until the very end and you wouldn't have a chance to respond to people's posts. So now we have a due date for original posts and a due date for responses. Okay, so this is the discussion board. A few other things that I want to draw our attention to on this site includes under grades, you can go here and see your grades throughout the semester. I'll be logging those here. Assignments in Dropbox, this is where you'll be submitting your larger assignments, such as your essays. I don't have any Dropbox boxes ready right now, but this is where you'll submit essays and things like that. And then finally, the calendar. I mentioned this on the home page. This is where you can go straight to the calendar feature itself. So for example, you can see a lot of the due dates that are in place for the first week of class. All the due dates that are on the checklist also get listed on this calendar. So it gives you a sense of how things will be working. Now, after the first week, we'll be proceeding according to a weekly rhythm where the due dates always stay the same. The first week is a little bit different because it's the first week of classes. After that, you'll have 4 weekly due dates. And you can see that here at the last week of August, first week of September. Mondays, Wednesdays, Thursdays, and Saturdays, excuse me. So those are the 4 days where things will be due in this class. And pretty simply, they'll fall into basically 3 categories. The first day, on Monday, is when you'll learn the context of a certain piece of literature. You'll watch videos, you'll read some pieces online, and complete a short quiz about those readings on Mondays. And then by Wednesday, you'll complete your reading of the literary text itself. For example, Beowulf. Beowulf is the first thing we'll be reading this week. So you'll complete your reading of Beowulf by Wednesday, complete a short reading quiz about Beowulf, and then on Thursday, you'll write your first discussion post, your original post that's all created by you. Everyone will complete that by Thursday, which gives us 2 days to respond to one another. So during these 2 days, you'll be responding to at least 2 of your classmates, to their ideas, what you think, and that's where our discussion will happen. So on a weekly basis, those are the 4 days that will always stay the same. Mondays, we learn about the context. We introduce ourselves to a certain piece of writing. By Wednesday, we complete reading that piece of writing. And then on Thursdays and on Saturdays, we discuss on the discussion board. So that's the weekly rhythm of this class. Okay, so I think those are the basics of how this course will be working. So now that you've seen this, you can continue kind of progressing through that checklist that I had pointed out earlier. All right, thanks everyone. I'll talk to you soon.